What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Thursday. Thursday, March the 20th, 2025, which means that, NCAA tournament time. We got a lot to talk about, but first, welcome. This is Quita in the Mornings. My name is Quita. We're in the mornings. I know I'm a little late today. Y'all ever had those days where you wake up, you got to wake up early. So you wake up at the time you're supposed to wake up, and you just like, man, I don't feel like getting out this bed. I don't feel like getting up. I got stuff to do. I'm awake. It's not like I overslept, but I just want to lay here and not get up. So that was me this morning. So my apologies on being late, because I was like, oh man, I was just tired today. I was tired. All of these early mornings are kind of getting to me, but it's all good. Every now and then we have those days. Anyway, welcome to Quita in the Morning. So get your coffee, get your orange juice, get whatever you got to get. I don't drink coffee. I don't do that. So if I did, maybe I would have got up earlier if I actually drunk some coffee. Anyway, get whatever you eating for breakfast, whatever you drinking for breakfast. And let's talk about some women's hoops on deck today. And the good news about today is that we will actually get to all the things I want to talk about, because I won't have much of a scheduling issue. So I won't have to leave, be like, oh, I ran out of time. That shouldn't be the issue today. Okay. All right. So in today's show, we are going to talk about some stuff. We're going to talk about the first four games. And the two games in particular that happened yesterday, where Southern got on a big one and made history. We're also going to talk about Iowa State as well, and how they got the dub. We're going to talk about Camila Cardoso. I'm going to give y'all a Camilla update on what she has been doing in China and the new award that she has just gotten. And we are going to wrap up talking about the AP All-American list and how some players may have been snubbed or not. We'll talk about it. Anyway, thank y'all for joining, and let's get into it. If y'all could, make sure as y'all are joining in, please hit that like button. That really does help the channel out a whole lot. Do want to start off with a super chat. Thank you so much to Michael T for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. It says, good morning. Glad to catch your show. Well, good morning to you. Thank you so much for your support. Salute. I hope you are doing well. And hey, can't wait for us to discuss these topics together. Now, as we're going through these topics, put your thoughts in the comments below. All right. Okay. So let's start off with the first four. So the first four officially kicked off Wednesday, and we saw two teams punch their tickets to the first round, Southern and Iowa State. But I know there are some people who were confused about the first four. They're like, what is the first four? What does this mean? Well, let's talk about it. So the first four is exactly what it says. It's the first four games. Think of it as a play-in. It is a glorified play-in into the NCAA tournament. Technically, 68 teams make the NCAA tournament. Technically. But it's bracket style. And because it's bracket style, it's only 64 teams that can be listed on the brackets. Okay? So 68 teams technically make the tournament. They have to whittle that down to 64 to actually do the brackets. So what they decided to do was to have a play-in. It's technically not a play-in, but it basically is a play-in, where you have 8 teams going against each other to determine who of the 4 of those 8 who will actually make the tournament. So we see we see that those battles happen before the NCAA really kicks off. So the NCAA first round kicks off on Friday. Yesterday started the first four. We saw 2 of the first 4 games yesterday. Today we'll see 2. And then really everything kicks off on Friday. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. If it doesn't, let me know in the chat, and I can try to talk more about it. But that's what the first 4 is. Basically a glorified play-in. Okay. All right. Oh, shout out to Cynthia. Cynthia says, "Good morning, Quita. I am 67 and love that you keep me up on all things basketball. Love out of Texas." Shout out to you, Cynthia. I'm curious. How old are y'all watching the stream? Like, let me know. I'm very, very curious about that. I've asked where you're located, and I see that we have a broad swath of people and where they're from. But like, what are the ages? Like, I'm very curious to see like what are the ages? Like, Facebook not Facebook. YouTube sometimes tells me some data around how old people are, and I just find it fascinating because here's the thing: women's basketball is a all ages sport. Like there's people who love women's basketball who are in their 80s, in their 50s, in their 20s, in their 30s. You know what I'm saying? Like it's for everybody, but I'm just curious. If you want to share. If you don't want to share, that's okay. Okay? No pressure at all. Okay. All right. So we're going to get into the first story, which is Southern, but let's get to y'all ages real quick. Okay, so we got some 40s, we got some 30s, we got some 60s. I'm not gonna put y'all comments on the screen because I don't want to put y'all on blast if y'all don't want to be. But we got a huge swath of ages. Okay, quite a bit of 50s, quite a bit of 40s. All right, got some 30s in here. Got some 20s. Okay, that's awesome. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me and just giving me a general feel for the age of this audience. Thank you so much. Anyway, let's get into the first game I really want to talk about because y'all, HBCUs are standing up. And I got to give it to Southern University's women's basketball team because the Jaguars just made history. For the first time ever, guys. For the first time ever. Southern wins a NCAA game, taking down UC San Diego. The final score of that game was 68. Jaguars, 56 San Diego. Guys, this was a fire game. The game happened in UCLA, so there wasn't that many Southern fans in the crowd because Southern is in Louisiana. So that was a bummer that I was like, oh man, like that's kind of bummery that the fans weren't able to make that trip. Not as many of the fans were able to make that trip. However, y'all, only 4 teams have ever won a game in the NCAA when it comes to the tournament. 4 HBCUs ever. You got Cheney, you got Howard, you got South Carolina State, and now you have Southern. I believe going into yesterday's game, Southern was 0 for 6 in the NCAA tournament. They had made it to the NCAA tournament 6 times, couldn't win a game, but this time was special. And it's letting everybody stand up and take notice about what the SWAC can do.
It means the world to us. We work for this. Since the summer we've been working. This is what we do. This program, our coaches, they believe in us. They never put doubt in us. They always talk us up, and we come out, we deliver for them.
Yeah, piggyback off tonight. It means a lot. And I really think the most important thing is shining light on HBCUs, the SWAC, just showing that we belong here and that we can compete with the best.
Not just Southern University, but the entire league. I mean, our league is a quality league. Last year we went and we beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma, and they ended up winning the Big 12. So we have some quality teams in this league and some quality coaches and play really good basketball. It's a tough league to win, and to win the regular season and to win the tournament is extremely hard. I mean, these young ladies have been working since June the 3rd, and with one goal in mind. And that was to win that conference regular season, win the tournament, and get to this point and win a game. So it's a historic night for us.
It was an historic night indeed. Southern came out the gate swinging, scoring bucket after bucket with amassing a massive 20-point lead at halftime thanks to Sanaya Reid. Y'all, Sanaya Reid played like she got shot out of a cannon early in this game. She was someone who, I think at one point, what was it like? She did like 2 or 3 3-pointers straight, like back to back to back in that first half. And I was like, oh my goodness. Sanaya Reid, you better do your thing. Girl, she came off the bench, guys. Huge, massive game. 19 points in the first half. She finished the game with 24 points. She was only in the game about 17 minutes in the entire game. And like 24 points in 17 minutes, I say that's a pretty good day in the office. I'm just saying. 8 of 10 from the field, 3 of 4 from deep. Southern came into this game saying, you know what? Today is the day we make history. Today we are nah, no longer are we going to be 0-6 in the NCAA tournament. We're going to win this game. And it wasn't just Sanaya, though I will say, is there something in the water about the name either Sanaya or Samaya in women's basketball? Because y'all, it feels like there's a lot of players either named Sanaya or Samaya in women's college basketball. I'm just saying. It's just a random thing. Like, there's a couple of them. I mean, I need to make like a slideshow of all the Samayas and Sanayas in women's college basketball. Anyway, Sanaya was fantastic in yesterday's game. And it wasn't just her, guys. It wasn't just her. Anaya Gradine also did her thing. 17 points in this one. I believe like 7 rebounds as well. Knocking down shots. Taking care of the basketball, shooting the ball efficiently. And that's how they did it. They almost shot 50% from the field. Like, they were 49% Southern. And in that first half, they were absolutely killing. In the second half, they kind of, they did a lot in that first half. UC San Diego ended up rallying in the third quarter, cutting the lead to single digits. But Southern ended up clamping down on defense in the fourth and was like, you know what? We gonna win this game. They were not about to let this historic victory slip from their hands. Jaguars did their thing, shooting from the field, around 50%. They played some lockdown defense throughout this game. And ultimately, they sent the Tritons packing. Now, what's next for Southern? They had this one historic game. Again, the first ever victory for Southern. One of 4 HBCUs to ever win a game in the tournament. Now, when I say that, I am specifically talking about the women's basketball. Now, I am not talking about men's basketball. I am actually not sure how many HBCU men teams have won in the NCAA. But I do know that for the women, only 4 have won. And so I think that's pretty awesome. And I think that's something that we should stand up and celebrate. Next up for Southern, after winning this game, they have a showdown against the number 1 seed, number 1 overall seed as well, UCLA. So they play UCLA on Friday night, and this is a extremely tall task. And, yes, Southern had this massive victory. I'm not expecting them to actually win. I don't think anybody's expecting them to win against UCLA. That would be the upset of upsets if that actually happened. But, hey, Southern is rolling. They're doing their thing. They won 11 of their last 12 games, and they already made history. So why not make even more history? Am I anticipating they're going to win? No. But if they did, oh my goodness, that would be a story to tell. Corey Close was in the building checking out her competition for Friday. She was in the building yesterday watching the game. And just overall, fantastic game by Southern. I would say this was a really good game for UC San Diego. Their comeback, I thought, was significant. Now, also a thing to note is that I should have pulled it actually as a photo. Actually, I think I might. because there was an awesome photo that I just thought was hilarious. So if y'all don't know, Tara Vanderveer, who is the famed coach from Stanford, she actually has a sister, right? And her sister is actually a coach as well. So her sister's name is Heidi Vanderveer, and Heidi is the head coach of UC San Diego. And I'm gonna just show this photo. I'm gonna just show this for y'all real quick. This was Tara Vanderveer yesterday. She went to the game, and of course, Tara Vanderveer is, even though she's no longer with Stanford, even though she retired, she is always rocking a Stanford shirt. She's always rocking it, y'all. Always. And she was watching her sister coach. And did y'all notice the hair is pretty similar? I'm just saying. That runs in the family, clearly. Like, Heidi does not have the bangs, but like the hair, the structure of the hair is basically the same. I thought it was kind of fun. I thought that was kind of fun. Anyway. Yeah, guys, shout out to Southern. Fantastic game. Shout out to UC San Diego for making the NCAA tournament for the first time. Division I NCAA tournament for the first time. So, like, again, shout out to everybody in there. I thought this was just a great game. And overall, and to be honest with you guys, full transparency, before yesterday's game, I had not seen a game from Southern all year. And I'm regretting my decision on not watching Southern. Like, this year, really the only HBCU team I really watched was Norfolk State. And that was because of Diamond Johnson. I kept in touch about what teams were doing, but I didn't watch them because there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. But now I'm like, man, I'm going to go back. I need to go back and look at some Southern games because I love the fight in this team. And yes, they got tired in that second half. But they put so much fight in that first half that I was just like, man, I have to watch this team. I got to go back. And watch them. They were really great. So again, shout out to Southern. All right. Next up, that was not the only game that happened yesterday. We also had Iowa State, who got the job done, advancing in a extremely narrow game against Princeton. The final score of this game was 68 Iowa State, 63 Princeton. This was a nail biter, a game where it felt like Princeton kind of was in the driver's seat in that first half. And then all of a sudden, Iowa State takes care of business. They rallied from 13 points down at halftime to ultimately win the game. It had everything. There was a lot of momentum swings, clutch performances, big shots, and as per usual for Iowa State, in an Iowa State win, in the second half, they got production from their two best players, Audie Crooks and Addie Brown. Now, if Iowa State ever really wants a chance, both of these players have to show up and show out. And yes, overall, Princeton was looking fan-freaking-tastic. This looked like a game that Iowa State was about to lose. Straight up looked like a game they were about to lose. But then, at halftime, it started to shift. The momentum started to shift, and it felt like Iowa State was actually like, you know what? I actually think we want to win. I actually think we want to win. And Audie Crooks was like, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Let me work. Addie Brown was like, okay, let me knock down some shots. Let me make some stuff happen. And they absolutely did. Okay? Because, yeah. Addie Brown ended up scoring 22 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. She was close to a triple-double in this game, right? She was close to it. Audie Crooks, when she gets the ball in good spacing, she can make stuff shake, and she did in that second half, ultimately finishing the game with 27 points, for Audie Crooks. Now, her rebounding, it's amazing how sometimes her rebounding is like very, very low. Very, very low in terms of rebounding. She only had 3 rebounds in this game. But like overall, in terms of her points, she was making it happen in that second half. Because she was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not losing. Like, I understand that we played like crap. I understand that we were not looking like we were supposed to look, but nah, we're a better team than Princeton. There's no way we should be losing. And they finally got it together in South Bend, Indiana in that second half, knocking down Princeton to ultimately advance. Now, also, something to note, guys, is that this was a significant game for Emily Ryan, because in this game she actually became the Big 12 assist leader, which I thought was kind of cool. So I wanted to mention that. Also, I do want to give a shout out to the head coach of Iowa State. His name is Bill Finley, and this man has now become the 3rd winningest coach, the 3rd winningest active D1 head coach. And so I thought that was kind of cool. So I had to have a slide about that. So yeah, like yes. We saw a horrible first half. Horrible, absolutely horrible from Iowa State. And a great first half for Princeton. And then they flipped the switch. They ultimately got the job done. And shout out to Iowa State for ultimately getting the dub. Coach Finley is the 17th women's basketball coach at the D1 level to get to 800 wins. But currently, there are only 3 of those coaches that are currently still coaching. So that's why he is the 3rd most among active head coaches. Anyway, let's continue on, guys. I do want to see what you all had to say about these 2 games that happened yesterday, but I do want to give y'all a sneak preview of what to expect today. Now, today we do continue on with our first 4 games. All right, so the first 4 games are not ending just yet. Today we will see Columbia take on Washington. That game is at 7 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN2. We will also see High Point take on William and Mary. Okay, that game is happening after that first game at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So 7 p.m. Eastern time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Those 2 games will happen. It's a bummer that yesterday's Iowa State versus Princeton game was during the day, unfortunately. Because the game is in South Bend, I was actually really thinking about going to the game, but unfortunately, I cannot go during the day because I work. But like if those games were if the Iowa State versus Princeton game was as late as today's games are, I could have went. But, they had to schedule that one early. I don't know why. The Southern game was at a great time because it was in the evening. So I was actually able to watch that game live because it happened when I was done working. But yeah, it's a whole thing with some of the scheduling. You have to it's a huge dance when it comes to scheduling for the NCAA tournament. And sometimes we see games at times that are not ideal. But anyway, that is the news, guys. Hopefully y'all are able to watch those games. I think it should be pretty fun to watch. And also, I don't think I mentioned it, but Southern will be playing UCLA on Friday, and we will also see Iowa State face Michigan. Okay? All right. On Friday. And then so we'll see ultimately who wins today's games, and they will also play on Friday. So it's quite a bit of play. All right, let's continue on. Let's quickly see. Yeah, it was too early. It was still too early for me. If it was at 8 Central Time, I could have actually went to that game, but it wasn't. So Tulip says Iowa State was underwhelming. Don't know if they will make much noise during the tourney, but you never know. Yeah, they were not that great at all. CF20 says hit that like button. Yes, listen to CF20 and hit that like button. It really does help the channel out a whole lot. Thank you very much. Shamika says, yeah, the Cyclones looked unprepared. They woke up in the second half, though. They did. They absolutely did. Yeah. They absolutely did. It should be fun to watch today's games and ultimately see what happens on that front. Small says that would be interesting to profile the players with same/similar names and those with siblings/parents in professional sports. Yeah, I think that'd be really fun. I think that would be really, really fun. Tulip says Sanaya is the Jalen of female sports, female hoops. So many Jalens in the NBA suddenly. Yeah, it's something about Sanaya and Samaya. That name is just, hey, they some hoopers though. They some hoopers. They are some hoopers. Steph says Southern played really good last night, regardless of UC San Diego's attempt to come back. Yep. RC says I didn't expect the Jaguars to win. I didn't like the UC San Diego's coach's rotations yesterday. She kind of went away from what she's known to do. All right. Tula says we got to fire some sweater collection. Here's the deal. I have a lot of sweaters because I am someone who actually likes sweater weather. Like, I don't want it to be crazy cold, but I want it to be like, kind of like, I want it to be like in the 60s. Like that's my ideal weather. Like 60s, partly sunny. And like that's where you can wear sweaters and hoodies, and that's my vibe. That is my vibe, okay? And right now it's like it like snowed overnight. And so there's like snow outside a little bit. It's like barely any. Not even a fourth of an inch. But it's a little bit of snow out there. So I'm like, you know what? Let's wear a sweater today. All right. Anyway, let's continue on. And let's go to the next topic, which is around Camila Cardoso. Has absolutely dominated in China this offseason. Y'all, if y'all don't know, the reason why Kamilla did not participate in, in Unrivaled is because she had already committed to play in China before they offered her Unrivaled. So that's why she didn't take Unrivaled. She ended up going over to China. And she has been on her big one and has won the WCBA International Player of the Year Award for 2025. Now, this is a huge deal for Camila Cardoso because, guys, when we talk about Camilla, we know that she is someone who can absolutely dominate in the paint. Right? But we also know that she, dealt with some injury at the beginning of the WNBA season, right? And so she didn't play the full 40 games. But in China, she has been healthy and has been on her big one. If y'all don't know anything about Camilla, let's just quickly go through it. Camilla is a 6'7" center who is absolutely fantastic in the post. She has been a force to reckon with overseas, proven that she has the potential to be a game-changing big woman in the WNBA. She took full advantage of being overseas in China by, upping her passing game, upping her efficiency, just overall doing a little bit of everything for the Shanghai Swordfish. That was the team that she played for. And over 32 games played and 32 games started, Kamilla average, let's go down the list, 20.2 points a game. She shot 64% from the field. She averaged 11 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists per game, and 1.8 blocks a game. She absolutely did her thing. Now, I will say, we should put this in context. The WCBA, which is the league in China, is not as good as the WNBA. So the competition is a little bit lower tier competition. However, there are several big women from the WNBA that play in the Chinese league. And so, yes, overall, the talent is lesser, but Kamilla, for a good amount of her time playing in China, was playing against WNBA level bigs. Not all of them were WNBA level bigs, but a good amount of them were WNBA level bigs, which is why I do put some weight behind her stats. Now, again, we put it into context, but still significant and still really, really important. And the thing that I love is that this team was basically like, yeah, Kamilla's, give the ball to Kamilla. Yeah, give the ball to Kamilla, and we will watch her work, right? That's what it was. And honestly, guys, the reason why she dominated is because that's literally what Kamilla does, right? And honestly, her stats would be way better. She did have 2 games, or like one game she only scored 2 points, and another game she only scored 4. But if it wasn't for those games, like her average points per game would be way, way, way higher. She's had several 30-point games, a ton of 20-point games, a couple, she had a 40-point game in there. Like, she was on her big one. She was knocking down shots left and right. She was someone who was getting her teammates involved. And ultimately, we saw that, Kamilla can be the focal point of a pro offense. Now, China's different than WNBA, but still significant. Because again, the overall talent of the WCBA is not the same as the WNBA. This award is a major achievement for her. And if you want to know some more context, this award was won last year by Jonquil Jones. And we all know how good Jonquil Jones is. She played in China last year, and she absolutely dominated. And now this year, it is all Camila Cardoso. And her domination has reflected in her team being successful. Now, her team did just lose in the playoffs in a pretty narrow game in the playoffs. I believe it's pronounced, I don't even know how to pronounce the team they played against. But anyway, they recently lost. In that game, Kamilla ended up playing 44 minutes, and she ended up scoring 25 points in her last game, which actually just happened on March 16th. Kamilla, dominant, fantastic. And the offensive domination that we saw is exactly what we need to see in 2025 for the WNBA season. And Kamilla's evolution has been great. She's shown flashes of brilliance last year in the WNBA season for her rookie year, where she averaged almost 10 points a game, 7.9 rebounds a game, and 1.7 assists a game, while battling a shoulder injury early on in the season. The Sky had a lot of struggles, right? They were trying to figure out like what exactly their identity was on offense and whatnot. And ultimately there were injuries that happened, a lot of injuries that happened that just had a lot of starts and stops for the team last year. And with the decision to remove Teresa Weatherspoon from her head coaching position, bringing in Tyler Marsh, there is a commitment from Tyler Marsh to implement a very high-octane, high-powered offensive system. And Kamilla's expanded game is going to be a huge asset to that, because Coach Tyler Marsh, he's looking to have a lot of offensive balance and fluidity. Like, he wants the bigs to be able to pass and operate in space, right? And that is something that Kamilla has been doing in China. Again, different competition. However, it's still similar. And I think her increased passing that she's been doing, her increased playmaking that she's been doing in China, it's going to translate directly to the Chicago Sky. And I love it. I think it's great. I think she's going to do a fantastic job in Tyler Marsh's system. Her and Angel being able to play off of each other. This team having a awesome point guard like a Courtney Vandersloot, who is in Chicago. Courtney Vandersloot is in Chicago. She is working out with Tyler Marsh. And I'm excited about that. Like, there's so much. Ariel Atkins being on the Chicago Sky team. Here's the deal. I will do a separate video about this later, but the Chicago Sky is not going to be as bad as people think. Okay? I'm going to tell you this right now. They are not. We're going to go player by player. Every single player on the Chicago Sky team, I'm going to break down their game and talk about how I really do see them fitting into the system that Tyler Marsh is creating, because this team is not going to be bad. They're going to actually be a pretty good team. I'm just saying. Now, competing for a title? No. But they will be a good team that will at least make the playoffs. Camila Cardoso, absolutely fantastic. If she can work on her 3-point shooting, we all know that she can hit a 3-point shot when she needs to. But Tyler Marsh wants everybody to shoot threes, and so I'm pretty sure he's gonna work with her to kind of get her to step back and knock some threes down as well. Because if she can get that too, it's over. It is absolutely over. Throughout college, for Kamilla, she has proven that she can be a dominant interior force. She won 2 championships with the South Carolina Gamecocks, including winning a whole bunch of individual awards. She won the WCBA National Defensive Player of the Year award. She was someone who was All-American. She was fantastic. However, when she came into the WNBA, again, that shoulder injury just hurt her ability to kind of continue that amazing trajectory that she was on. Because remember, she came into the WNBA undefeated. Her senior year in South Carolina, the team went undefeated the entire year. They won the national championship. She was riding high, and then she gets a shoulder injury, and then the Sky are not very good, and they don't make the playoffs. And so I think this time in China was a great reset for her, and I think she's gonna come and dominate. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Y'all better watch out now. Spoiler: if you don't know, I am a Sky fan, so I'm gonna fit that in. But objectively, I actually do think that the Chicago Sky are going to be better than people think. And I also do think that Kamilla is going to add a little bit extra to their game this upcoming year. But I do just want to say, for the record, I am a Sky fan. So anyway, take that as you will. Okay. Now, I do want to just see what y'all have to say about it. I want to see what y'all have to say about Camila Cardoso. Have y'all been rocking with her as she has been in China? I know it's been harder to figure out what's happening in China. There's, because language is a barrier. And so I have done some coverage of Kamilla. However, I have not covered, what's been happening with Kamilla as much as I've been covering for Angel, for example, because I speak English. And it's way easier to be in the know about what's happening in Unrivaled than it is for the WCBA. And so that's something that was a thing. However, for the 2026 offseason, my hope is that Kamilla will be in Unrivaled. That would be awesome. That way it'll just be easier to keep up with whatever she is doing. All right. So, guys, let's get to y'all comments. Works World says they'll make the playoffs easily. I think with the talent, again, adding Ariel Atkins, I think, is a huge unlock. Now, again, remember, guys, I told y'all I didn't like the trade for Ariel Atkins. Not because Ariel Atkins isn't fantastic, not because I was upset about giving up the number 3 pick, because it actually wasn't a problem for me. It was giving up the future first. It was giving up the pick swap for the 2027 season. That was actually my big issue. But at the same time, no time like the present. If the Chicago Sky can show that they can make some noise, they can get some good talent coming in the door, and it wouldn't matter about that pick swap. Now, yeah, let's see what else y'all have to say. And again, guys, we got one more topic, and then we will cut it off. Our next topic is going to be about snubs. Who was snubbed, possibly, for the AP Player of the Year awards? Okay. Yes, Kelly is back in the SEC, and I do need to make a video about it. Tulip says, "Hey, Quita, is Kennedy the top scorer in China?" I believe she is. Yeah, I believe Kennedy Carter is the top scorer in China. I do believe so. I do believe so, though I need to just double check that. But I'm 90% sure that you're right. Eric says, has Chelsea Gray committed to a team? I thought she was a free agent. The Sky have a point guard covered, but Vandersloot has played in multiple point guard systems. But has she played in multiple point guard systems? To answer your second question first, yes, Courtney has played under a couple of systems. I mean, remember last year she was with she spent the last 2 years in New York in their system, and before that she was with the Chicago Sky her whole career. And played under 2 coaches, I want to say, for the Chicago Sky. 3, maybe, because we had Amber Stocks, we had James Wade. I think it was just those 2 that she played under. But I can double check that. Eric is also asking, has Chelsea Gray committed to a team? Yeah, Chelsea Gray is on the Las Vegas Aces for 2025. She's on the Las Vegas Aces. Tyler says, a healthy Kamilla is really a cheat code. Facts, y'all. I'm gonna tell you this. There is a reason why South Carolina went undefeated in Camilla's last season. Because Camilla's that girl. She on the offensive end, get her the basketball down low. Watch her work. Or if she gets swarmed, she can pass it back out. She is one of those bigs that is a really good passer. Not all bigs can pass the ball. Not all bigs can do that. But she absolutely can. She also, defensively, she's fantastic. And now, again, last year, I believe her numbers for the WNBA season was primarily due to the fact that she injured her shoulder before the season started. And when she came back, she was back, but she wasn't she had to ramp up because she didn't really get training camp because she ended up hurting herself throughout that process. So, she didn't get to fully ramp up into the WNBA because she was hurt. And then when she got in, she was good, but I don't think she was as good as she would have been had she never got hurt. That's my thoughts on that front. But yeah, Camilla's great. Jessica says, what's scary is that she hasn't even tapped into her full self yet. I agree. I absolutely agree. Tulip says Kamilla is a beast, but but either her or Angel Reese needs a consistent jumper to space the floor because the paint is too clogged. Average shot distance for both is less than 8 feet, 8 meters, or I don't know what the M stands for both. Both are both Angel and Kamilla are very tied to around the restricted area. They do need to expand that out. And we have seen, Angel, consistently working on her mid-range jumper, on her pull-up jumper, on her 3-point shot and whatnot. And so, it's still going to take more time, but I do see her working on that. And Kamilla, I mean, for the most part in China, she's basically just been around the restricted area scoring. But we all know that Tyler Marsh is someone who loves spacing. This is a man who wants everybody to shoot threes. He even talked about, I believe in his first press conference with the Chicago Sky, he was talking about Elizabeth Williams is going to be shooting threes, right? So I think that everybody is going to be a stretch post for the Chicago Sky eventually, right? Not this upcoming season, probably, but like eventually they're all going to be knocking down 3-point shots. They're all going to be doing long range, mid range jumpers, right? They're all going to be able to stretch the floor. So I think that's the ultimate goal, but it's going to take some time to get there. It's going to take some time. But I mean, right now, Angel is more of that stretch right now because that's something that she's actively been working on with Unrivaled and has had the space to do that. And it's going to take a little bit more time, but like I'm excited about the prospects for sure. All righty. Now, guys, let's talk about the AP All-Americans. That's gonna be fun. That is going to be fun. Let's talk about the AP All-Americans because here are the names who made it. We have Juju Watkins from USC on the list. We have Paige Beckers from UConn. We have Lauren Betts from UCLA, Hannah Hidalgo from Notre Dame, and Madison Booker from Texas. That is your AP first team All-Americans. We're going to go down the whole list, and then we're going to talk about it, okay? So that's the first team. Now, let's go to the second team. Second team, we have Anissa Morrow of LSU, Tanaya Latson of Florida State. We got Olivia Miles of Notre Dame, Sarah Strong of UConn, and Georgia Amore of Kentucky. All right, that was the second team. Here's the third team, AP All-Americans. We have Haley Van Lift of TCU, Kiki Ira-Affin of USC, Michaela Blakes of Vanderbilt, Flau'jae Johnson of LSU, and Audie Crooks of Iowa State. Other players who got honorable mentions include Sonia Citron, Katie Dennebier, Joyce Edwards, Yvonne Ejim, Malaysia Fulwiley, Rory Harmon, Izzy Higginbotham, Isaiah James, Lauren Jensen, Taylor Jones, Chloe Kitts, Ayoka Lee, Cody McMahon, Tahina Pow, Sedona Prince, JJ Kennerly, Kiki Rice, Cheyenne Sellers, Serena Sundell, Michaela Timpson, Harmony Turner, and Michaela Williams. So that is your honorable mentions and your first, second, and third team people. Now, there was a lot of people who had a lot to say about the list. A lot of people who got a lot to say. Number one, it seems, was people saying, how in the world does South Carolina not have anybody making the first, the second, or the third team? And that is encapsulated by Kay Jackson's comment saying, they stay disrespecting my Gamecocks. Here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. The type of offense that South Carolina plays and the fact that they no longer have that sort of like stable, down low, big woman who dominates, right? They don't have Kamilla. They don't have Aaliyah Boston, right? And so this team is a conglomeration of everybody doing a little bit. Like it's way more of a collective front for South Carolina now more than ever. And because of the style that Dawn Staley plays, while it works, while it wins games, you are not going to have individual success. And so personally, I'm not actually surprised. I'm not surprised that that we see South Carolina with nobody on the first team. South Carolina with nobody on the second team. South Carolina with nobody on the third team, but with, several honorable mentions, right? Yeah, Tahina is great, right? We all know that. Chloe Kitts is great. Malaysia Fulwale is great. Joyce Edwards is great. They are great. However, we have not had an individual season from them, in my opinion, that makes them first, second, or third because of the style that South Carolina plays. Again, if these players were on another team where they were like the focal point, then yeah, they would pound for pound talent wise, yeah, sure. Absolutely. They're up there. But it's not about the potential of the player, it's about what they did on the court. And it's just because of the way that South Carolina plays. It is what it is. So to be honest with you, I'm not surprised at all. I didn't expect anybody from South Carolina to make the three teams, right? The first, second, or third. I didn't expect it. And so I'm not surprised. But I saw a lot of people upset about it. And I understand, if you are a South Carolina fan, I understand you want your team to be successful. You want your team to get all the individual accolades. I get that. But at the same time, you have to, in my opinion, now you all may disagree and that's okay, but in my opinion, you have to accept the way that South Carolina is moving and don't take everything as disrespect, because in my opinion, it's not. Like in this individual accolade stuff, I don't think it's disrespectful for Joyce Edwards to not get first, second, or third AP All-American. That's not disrespectful, right? It's not disrespectful that Malaysia is not one of the top three. I don't think that's disrespectful at all. Because you look at the list. Look at the list. Let's look at the list. Juju Watkins, end all be all for USC. Absolutely domination. Domination, right? Paige Beckers, elite facilitator, someone who can knock down her shot whenever she wants. Like, really, really good player. A huge factor as to why UConn's successful. Lauren Betts, the end-all, be-all, the best post player in the country, in my opinion. Total domination. No one can stop her. Hannah Hidalgo, on both the offensive and defensive end, domination. Okay, yes, she did have a couple games where she was like not very good and whatnot, but when Notre Dame wins, it's because Hannah is absolutely killing. Madison Booker, mid-range assassin, can do just about anything on the court, and we all know that she is, in a huge way, the end-all, be-all for Texas on the offensive end. I don't see any. Who's replacing these players? Who's replacing them, right? We go down the list for second team All-American. Anissa Morrow, the double queen, the player who is doing just about everything for LSU. The player who is so consistent for LSU. Been out there doing her thing, hitting mid-range jumpers, getting in the paint, mucking it up, getting offensive and defensive rebounds, doing just about everything for LSU to be successful. She earned that. She earned that second place nod. Maybe even she deserves the first team All-American. You know, like it's one of those things where like she could arguably be a first team. She could arguably be a first team All-American. How great Anissa Morrow has been, right? Taniyah Latson. Talk about a scoring machine. Talk about a scoring machine. Like seriously, like Taniyah Latson has been on her big one all year, right? The reason why Florida State wins a whole bunch of games is because of that young lady right there, Taniyah Latson. Olivia Miles. We saw her get that 3-point shot, and she has been great this year. To be honest with you, I am actually a little bit surprised that she's a second team All-American. Like I was thinking she was going to be a third team All-American, right? So to me, I think Olivia Miles, second team was a little surprising to me. What do y'all think? Was that surprising to y'all? But even still, she definitely is an All-American because the way that she has played this year, the way that she has shot the ball well. Yes, the last several games she hasn't been as great, but early in the season, her and Hannah were like the Splash Sisters, right? They were the Splash Sisters. And yeah, she deserves a nod. Now again, I would argue she's more of a third team All-American than a second team All-American. However, still fantastic. Fantastic. Then we got Sarah Strong, who like Sarah Strong has come out the get-go. There was some people who was like, oh, Sarah Strong ain't as good as y'all think she is, and blah 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 blah. Nah, Sarah Strong is fantastic. she has come onto the scene and has absolutely dominated. Yes, Paige Beckers is fantastic, but I tell you this, UConn would not be winning the games that they win if it was not also for Sarah Strong. Fan-freaking-tastic. Her ability to be a stretch post player, her ability to get to the rim and use her size to her advantage, fantastic. Okay, and then we got Georgia Amore, who has W Bazile, completely agree. Fantastic IQ for Georgia Amore. She is someone who can see the play evolve before it happens and then throw the ball right in the position where her teammate can grab it and score effectively. She can do crazy passes. She's fun. She can knock down shots. Yes, sometimes she gets a little bit trigger happy when it comes to her shooting. But like Georgia Amore, fantastic. Yes, absolutely deserves to be a second team All-American. No qualms about that. Then we go to the third team, right? Haley Van Lith, who has had arguably the best season of her career this year. She has put TCU on her back, has shown that she can be a facilitator for her team, and has been knocking down shots, doing her thing. Kiki Ira-Finn is someone who, yes, in my opinion, not as good, in my opinion, as she was for Stanford last year. However, she has been a really good post player for USC and has been, in large cases, a second person, a secondary person besides Juju Watkins who can dominate in a game, right? Then you got Michaela Blakes, who we all know the freshman phenom known as Michaela Blakes and what she has been doing at Vandy. Her shots are absolutely insane. Her ability to just go off, shot for shot. You talk about someone who is fearless. That's Michaela Blakes. Several 30-point games, 40-point games. Like, yes, she absolutely deserves to be on the AP All-American list. Absolutely. And Flau'jae Johnson, yes, she's been hurt for the last couple of games and whatnot, but when we talk about the greatness, of LSU, yes, Anissa Morrow is huge, right? But Flau'jae Johnson is someone who is very consistent, someone who is a great leader for this team, someone who has been a dominant factor for LSU and their success. So, yes, right? She deserves to be on that list. And then you got Audie Crooks. I just talked about Audie Crooks and how she was on her big one yesterday against Princeton. But Audie Crooks is just someone who, if Iowa State wants to win, you better put the ball in Audie Crooks' hands, right? It's Audie Crooks all day long. Several 20-point games. She is someone that can just be a dominant force down low. Now, does she struggle against bigger, taller bigs? Yes, she does. However, she's someone who has some really good footwork as well, and can absolutely be dominant in the post. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Of all of the All-Americans on the list, I could see Olivia Miles drop into third team All-American. And I could see Kiki Ira-Finn. Yes, she has been great. And I just talked about that, right? But she is one player that if I had to drop somebody from this list completely, I would drop Kiki Ira-Finn from third team to honorable mention. Like if I had to drop anybody, I would do that. But going down the list, I'm not mad at these decisions. I think these players are fantastic. You know, Michaela Blake's, what was it, 2 50-point games that she had this year? Like, on her big one this year. And yes, there are players who were fantastic this year, and they're honorable mentions, right? And I understand that not everybody's happy about that, but there can only be 15. There can only be 15. Okay? And the selection committee has to make some decisions, and they did. Again, these are individual awards based off of individual performance. These are not team awards. So there are some teams that can have multiple people on the AP All-American list, and they still may not make it to the championship game. Because individually is one thing. Collectively as a team is a whole nother ballgame. So that's my thoughts on that front. That is my thoughts on that front. Kay Jackson says a lot of people are making that list off their name alone. Who? AB says, I like Haley Van Lith, but not putting her on the AP list. Sellers has a better season. Honestly, I would keep Haley Van Lith where she is. Cheyenne Sellers is great. However, Cheyenne Sellers had to deal with quite a bit of, she's been dealing with injury this year, right? And so that's affected her availability and also, in my opinion, her play on the court. And also, I think that what she's done for TCU and how huge she's been for TCU success, I don't know. I keep Haley where she's at. Yeah, I really do. Tisha says Joyce Edwards would be there next year when she gets more playing time. Yeah, facts. I mean, in terms of talent-wise, yes. Pound for pound, talent-wise, yes. I would put Joyce Edwards on this list. Pound for pound, talent-wise. However, it's not just the individual talent of the player. It's about the production that you're getting on the court, how they're being used and whatnot. And it's just because South Carolina plays by committee right now. They are playing by committee. Okay? And because of that, individual awards do suffer. It is what it is. Yeah, you got to take your pick, you know? You got to take your pick. Quincy says no AZ Flood. Yeah, and I'm not upset with that. I'm not upset at all that AZ Flood is not an honorable mention, because to me, AZ Flood really got her groove clicking midway through the season. Like I think yes, AZ Flood has been really, really good this year. However, I don't know. To me, it hasn't been the full season for AZ. So to me, that's why she's not on. So I'm actually not upset that AZ is not an honorable mention. AZ is fantastic, like absolutely fantastic. But I feel like she has gotten way more into her groove as the season has gone on. And the AP All-American, the 15 players who made it were players who, like, for the most part, throughout the entire season, they were doing their thing. All right. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. We have finally covered every single thing on my agenda for today. We talked about Southern and Iowa State winning yesterday in 2 of the first 4 games. We talked about what Camila Cardoso was doing in China on her big one, right? Winning the International Player of the Year award in China. And we just finished talking about the AP All-American list. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. This has been Quita in the mornings, because my name is Quita and we are in the mornings. I really do appreciate your support every single morning. Make sure to join me right here for daily WNBA, daily international basketball, daily NCAA talk, all that stuff. We are doing it here all the time, every day. Every day, hit your notification bell. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita Loves Sports is on the internet. And we doing something, guys. Literally, on this channel, we are doing something that no one is doing. As far as I'm aware, there is no daily show about women's basketball. It doesn't exist. As far as I'm aware. If y'all aware of one, let me know. Especially there's no live daily show that actually like goes through several topics and whatnot. So we're doing something different. We're trying. Sure, it's not like super fancy, right? I don't have like a producer that can like splice a whole bunch of stuff as I'm talking and whatnot. It's not as cool as probably it would be if it was actually on TV or whatever. But like, we're trying to do something special here. We're trying to build this thing up into something that people cannot ignore. The whole point of this is to grow the game of women's basketball, to inform people about what's going on, right? To give commentary in a way that is truthful, but also in a way that builds up the game and builds up the players that play it. And I appreciate y'all. I love it. I love what we do here. I love y'all for rocking out with me. Who knows where this goes? I don't know. Who knows where this takes us, but my commitment to you is that I'm going to keep doing right by women's basketball. I'm going to keep doing what I can to always be truthful, always tell y'all the way I see it, but also do it from a place of love and joy of the game. Because like truly, I love this thing. And I'm not just talking about it just because it's the it thing to do. It's because I gotta share my joy with other people. So like y'all may disagree with my takes on stuff, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But I really do appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me. I don't know. We're gonna keep doing this. So every morning, join me right here in the morning. Let's rock out from here. Let's rock out from here. W. Bazile says Quita is facts over drama. Facts. Guys, like there's so many topics that are drama filled that I have not even talked about. I've not even talked about because it's like, it's a distraction. There's so much stupid stuff that's happening on social media that has nothing to do with the game. And I'm like, you know what? It's a distraction from the actual games that are playing. We got to actually focus on the game and what's actually happening, and not just speculation that's meant to make people look bad and meant to sow division and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm rambling. I gotta go. We covered everything though. So shout out to y'all for being amazing. And I will see y'all in the next one, guys. Y'all have a good day. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye. And good morning.